And welcome to another edition of the Wake Up Late with Dougie Show. I am your host, Dougie Almeida, coming to you live from Simpsonville, South Carolina, where I'm blending in. Great show today. Matter of fact, we're a little upset. We were supposed to have Brandon Rainwater here on the show today and Chris Harvey, but something came up with one of them, and then we changed it. But by the stroke of luck and by the act of God, we have the Reverend Bob Levy here today. What's up, Rev?
What's up there, Dougie? It's good to be here to come in and save the show from all these people that canceled last minute. Isn't it amazing? They always come up with great. What excuses did they use? Because they had to
Uh,
go over like I'm gonna tell Doug this, you tell Doug that. What happened?
No, it was just one guy. One of them couldn't make it. He said something had come up. He had to be somewhere, and yeah, I wonder if he got nervous because when we do the show, it's a professional show, somewhat. I mean, it's
Yeah,
somewhat half-assed, but we got an outline. I don't know if you reviewed it, but maybe
yeah,
somebody didn't want to do the homework. Maybe said I got to read stories. I got to read. I don't know. And
yeah.
but hey, yeah,
Doug, you think I look at outlines? You think you go? I'm going to send you a backdrop of the show, and I'm like, go ahead, send it. It's going to fucking just sit there without an open look. You're not going to see a check when I go in there. I don't
yeah.
need
Well,
that shit. I'm a
that's
professional.
yeah. I mean, I could throw anything at you, Bob, and you'll be there for it. You recently were down in Florida, right? You got to do some shows with Minda and them down there, and the Dane the
Yes,
Improv.
it
Yeah,
was really
how'd that
good.
go?
I love Minda and Dan. I mean, they're fucking great people. They really are, And we had a great time. The flight just made it in time. I was like 30 minutes before I was going on stage at the Improv. I get there. I'm out of my mind, but I was able to calm down in time to because you can't fly anymore. You can't fly. It doesn't work.
Um,
They just go, "Hey, that's the way it is." They don't even try to help you they go, "We think we can get." I go, "I got a show." And they're like, they don't care if I got a show.
Yeah, like that's your fucking problem. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Um, yeah, but it is fucking tough flying. I mean, the cancellations and stuff. I was in Florida one time. I ended up doing a gig in Jacksonville, and I was about to
Hmm.
drive home to Fort Lauderdale, back to that, to where I was staying. And then
Yeah.
I was going to go back, and I'm like, why the fuck am I going to drive 5 hours back to Fort Lauderdale to find out tomorrow my flight was canceled? I'm 5 hours
Yeah.
from South Carolina. I'm driving, so
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
it's a pain in the
exactly.
ass. It's a
Yeah,
pain in the ass.
you can't do it anymore. You can't do it. And then we had an easy drive. It was a pretty easy drive to Key West, and I loved it there. I mean, I love the owner there, great guy, and just being out there, it's like heaven. Truthfully, it is. It's like you don't think about anything. Everything's okay there.
You mean in Florida?
No, in Key West. Key West. I didn't
Oh,
say
okay. Oh,
all of
yeah.
Florida. I said, yeah, but Dante or Dante, whatever the fuck that town was. It looked like there was people with, like the police had golf carts, and I was like, what the fuck is like? Even though I got delayed, the Uber driver couldn't. He was like 80 years old. We're going 20. I got my phone with the directions on it. He goes, I don't know. I go just follow, make a right here. And then he stops in the middle of a rotary, and I'm like. And thank God, like the cop lady on a golf cart comes and saves me, but she goes,
Yeah.
"Follow me. I'll take you to the club." So we're following him, her in the cart going 3 miles an hour, and I'm like so late already, and I'm like, this can't be good today. But it was really good. But it's look, I
Yeah.
love Florida. It's a little hot for me in the summer.
Yeah. Well, I left it because of that. Too hot, too many hurricanes, too many crazy people there now. But I go back. I'm back and forth a lot, so
Yeah.
enjoying it. What happened to you? Are you still in Jersey? Are you going to move? I mean, you were thinking about
Yeah.
moving and shit. And
We're here for a little while. I decided to put a lot of money into the house. I got a built-in pool coming just in time for the winter. That should start next week, and then
I
basically
got
our.
I got to tell
I,
Bob. I got to tell you, Bob Levy is one hell of a guy when it comes to timing.
oh yeah, well, I kept telling my wife, you can't even imagine what it's going to look like in the backyard. And she goes, I've been imagining since fucking April. And I was like, yeah, you got a point there. But
Yeah.
our thing is to be out in 4 or 5 years. We'll decide.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
We're
Well,
running
we'll
up the
we'll,
money
we'll
here.
we'll probably still be here, but yeah, man, that's a good deal. Well, listen, dude, you and I haven't spoken to you in a while, so much
Hmm.
has happened between then and that. But one of the things I was going to talk about today is, you're a comic, I'm a comic, is comedy talk.
Hmm.
Um, and here's the thing: good shows, bad shows. But what was one of your recent best shows? And before I even answer that, what are some of the things that make a show best?
Okay, the best is knowing how to set up the room for the comedians, having the lights, the sound perfect, and seating people up front. And if they're in front of me, like, you're going to have a great show. Everything is there that I need. All I have to do is do what I do, and that's be funny. So it's easy then. It's so simple when like, I did the Stress Factory recently. I hosted for a friend of mine. I had to wait so fucking long in between fucking the laughter. You had to, you just had to. It's just too easy sometimes. But that's the way it's
Yeah,
supposed to be. You're supposed to make it look easy.
yeah. So, but like sometimes it could be a great crowd. Sometimes it could just be, you end up making up a lot of shit. Like I had a recent best show in a place
Hmm.
called Monroe's Monk Square, what the fuck it is, and it's a Monday night show, dude. I'm gonna get you down there. It's a fucking great room.
Yeah.
In Monks, what the fuck? I call it, I kept calling it Camel Cock, South Carolina, but it's Monks Corner. I don't know. But anyway, it
Yeah.
was great because I ended up doing like an hour, but I ended up improving about 50, 20,
Okay.
25 minutes of it. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, that's
I mean, you
always
do that.
fun.
You always do that a
Yeah,
lot.
I
You
mean,
make up shit on stage.
yeah, I'm gonna start doing it more. I like it because my mind is like clear now. I don't know. I had lost so much memory from the car accident that my mind is open. So now I'm like really fast. I'm on my game,
Yeah.
so I'm really happy.
Well, that's good, dude. Yeah, because you were recovering. The neck's good. You're since the surgery, everything
Hmm.
good.
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty
got
good. I still got a little problem with the lower back. I'm working on that, and my ankle and feet, but it's coming along. It's coming along good. I'm getting there. I'm gonna
there. You
go
go.
the rest of the distance, go to the gym, go to the fucking chiropractor, and then I'll be back totally.
Yeah, like me, I got neck problems. My hands are numb, dude. My fucking it's fucking brutal. Hey,
Yeah.
let's talk about crowd work.
Yeah.
Good, bad. I mean, you're a king of crowd work. I mean, a lot of comics want to try. They want to do crowd work. I said crowd work is like you can't say, oh, you want to be cool. Either you're cool or you're not. Either you're good at crowd work
Hmm.
or you're not. What do you
Yeah,
think?
basically, I was watching. I noticed a lot of girls do the crowd work like that. You just married? Yeah, we're married. Yeah, I'm single. My boyfriend, and it's like it's just dragged on. It's like hit. You got to hit right away. You can't. Nobody gives a shit about. You're making it all about you. You got to make it about the people sometime in the audience. They're there to have fun. The majority of people can handle it. Some people may not be able to handle it. Well, you can see it on their face. You know what I mean? You either continue or you move on. It depends what mood you're in. If you're in a shitty mood, you're going to continue to ruin their night. Fuck them.
Exactly. Exactly, dude. I was all angst up yesterday. I had a lot of anxiety. I was thinking all that shit. And I went to an open mic, and it was
Hmm.
funny because the guy, my buddy, went up before me, David Zaslav. He went up and started just doing like just talking about shit like abortion and stuff and the fucking
Yeah.
and religion and everything. I'm like, Jesus, I was going to go up and do that. Now I guess I got to go tell jokes. Um, you know what I mean? Clubs sometimes don't like crowd work, but they got to deal with it, right? I mean, isn't that just part of the game?
Well, you know what? If you do crowd work right, it doesn't even seem like, I can see if somebody doesn't know how to do it and somebody in the audience will go, "Do you have any material?" Like, I've seen that happen to people because they just don't know how to do it right. And some people do it just to be a pain in the ass. And you're like, yeah, fucking right here. Boom, boom, boom. It's like you're always going to win if you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, you'll always win on stage, because you have the mic. You have a light
Yeah,
on you. It's just somebody in the audience. Like, you come and have fun. You do the show for the people that are there tonight. It doesn't matter about the people that were there last week or tomorrow. It's that night. That night is what you focus on. Those people in front of you. Nothing else is important.
yeah, man. And that's as long as they have a good time, that's the way it should be. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I sometimes when people try that out, they go to open mics and they're trying it. And I'm like, don't force it.
Yeah.
Crowd work's like anal sex. You gotta ease into it.
Yeah.
You gotta.
You
I don't
got
know
you
if
got
that
to get
makes
them
the.
drunk first.
Yeah, you got to get them drunk first, and maybe stick a finger
That's
in their
a
ass
Yeah,
before I do
that's
a little
the
crowd
best
work.
way to. say that about fucking crowd work. It's like anal. You got to get them drunk, you got to relax them, and then you fucking jam it in there.
Yeah, jam it in. That's so fucking funny. You haven't. I don't know. You mentioned you host at the Stress Factory because one of the questions
Hmm.
we had for the other two comics, we didn't change the
Hmm.
outline, was featuring versus headlining.
Hmm.
I'm in that stage now. I headline, I feature. And sometimes, especially like when you're doing a showcase or you're on there under the show, somebody will always ask, "Do you want to go up first or do you want to close?" Now, I can imagine the Reverend Bob Levy is going to want to close. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
It's
mean,
not.
it depends. I mean, if somebody you want to make it easier for me and harder for you, go ahead. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It's like if you think you can go after me, fucking let's see. I'll fucking make you work. It's like you have to earn the spot. If you don't earn the spot, you have to do it 99 to almost 100% of the time. You have to do better than the feature and the MC. And the MC, I think, is the most important spot. The feature is the easiest spot. The MC's up three times. Got to get the crowd. The feature, it should be right in your lap. If you can't kill in the feature, then you shouldn't be doing comedy.
Yeah, and you know what? Some people, have said that. Like, as a feature, should a feature basically their goal should be to blow the doors off. Like, in other words, to come out and make it as hard for the headliner as possible.
Yeah,
Because
unless it's your
some
room.
headliners get
Unless you're
pissed.
Yeah, unless you're booking a room, then you're like, hey, fucking no, what are you doing? Fucking no, nobody's gonna come back next week. But like, yeah, I mean, like you shouldn't try to do it by doing what is illegal things in comedy, like going over on your time when you're killing, because you would never, you would never go long if you were eating a big dick up there. You would get off probably a few minutes early. So that's one thing that gets me when people try to do it. And I go, I see what you're doing. Now watch this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you that you're still shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, because that's the challenge I have because I'm just bumping the headline, and sometimes you end up doing a show, and this guy comes out, opens ahead of you, and he's fucking crushing. You're like, but that's when the true warrior comes out, man. That's when you dig down deep and you
Hmm.
fucking you let it out, you rip it, and that's got to happen. So yeah, it's cool.
Hmm.
I usually will default if somebody says, "Hey, you want to go first? You want to close?" I'll go first.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
the
what I mean?
easiest thing. It's
Yeah.
like they'll be like, I go, you got 4 or 5 comedians on this show, and they're like, just do 30 minutes. I'm like, okay, you know what I mean. Then it doesn't look stupid when everyone else is doing 10 or 15, and you do 45 to an hour. I
Yeah.
like to do 2-man show, 3-man show. That's it. I don't need
Yeah.
fucking everybody. Their 10 minutes. They didn't come for their 10 minutes. I want them to
Yeah.
leave with what I'm doing, walk out of there and go, wow, we got a long show from him and he killed. So it's like people don't know what they're doing all the time, but you try to talk to them, but everybody thinks they're right. And just
Yeah.
because you're in charge, just because you're in charge doesn't mean you're right.
Yeah.
You can
And you got
always
a
listen to
business card.
people.
And you got a business card that says you're the boss. Um,
Exactly.
you know, you know what I mean? Yeah, but that's happens. You sometimes you go to a show, and you feel like, okay, we have a host. Oh, great, you have a host, and this is so and so your feature. Oh, and we got a couple guest spots going up. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, traditionally a guest spot should be somebody who's happened to pro comic that's a touring comic that happens to be in town, and you want to
Want
give
to
them
do
five
new
to seven
material.
minutes. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the other thing I was gonna say, and that's what they do. They're not gonna come up and do their fucking rip roaring 5-7 minutes and fucking blow the feature out. They're gonna come out, probably work on new shit, maybe work on right. I mean, that's what they do. If you're gonna do a guest spot, Bob Levy does a guest spot on a show. You're gonna come out and
It's
try
going to
some new
be,
shit, right?
yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? Like at Uncle Vinny's, like, you go there, you get Florentine coming in doing new stuff, and it's cool. Like, it's good for the audience, and it's good for Jim and Don do it, and who's the other guy that comes in? One of Rogan's guys. Oh God, he moved to Jersey. I'm blanking on his name, but he's there all the time now. And
Yeah,
it's just great. It's like great when places like that. He does it right where the guests, Joey Diaz, I'm talking about. Like when friends will just show up and go, hey, I'm going to do some new stuff. Oh, absolutely. You know what I mean? It's great to see
right.
them, and the crowd is happy, and they get to do the new stuff and see what's going on.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I just hate when you go onto a show and there's like 10 guest spots. And you're like, what the fuck?
They're
You go up
all
an hour.
afraid to. They just want to sell. They want people to pay for tickets. They don't care how funny somebody is. If they can bring people, you know what I
Yeah,
mean. I'll give somebody a chance if I hear they're good, and I'm saying, look, you got 5 minutes, and if you do bring people, I'll give you $5 a ticket if you can draw. And so at least if you can get 30 people, you're walking out with what 150. So you're doing better than for not having a gig,
yeah.
and nobody
You
gives
get
those
feature pay.
opportunities.
You get a
Hmm.
feature pay
Yeah,
for
and
5 minutes.
the pay is really bad. The pay is bad. I noticed when I came back, I'm like, no, no. And I was telling Kevin Brennan, I go, it's better for us to get what we want and sit home those other days. And then people will realize we have to do this. We have to. You have to pay to put out a product. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's a way to do business and there's a way not. Like some people will book a show and if the tickets aren't selling, they'll cancel it, I heard. And like, there's no chance of them losing. They're only going to win, these bookers, because and the comedians are like, oh, okay, I'll just do it. Yeah, I'll give you another day. But you took that date. You have to do something about it. You have to pay
yeah,
something. You can't just
yeah.
cancel. It can't be all good for you.
Yeah, well, as a booker, that's what I do. I've had somebody. I'm really not booking at the moment because they kept canceling it, and they kept canceling, and not like 30, 45 days. They kept the week before. I'm like,
Hmm.
you can't do that. You can't just change shit like that. A week before the fucking show, people made travel arrangements and everything. So, um,
Hmm.
it's crazy. All right, as part of our last subject in comedy talk,
Hmm.
let me cons. Let's see, clean versus dirty. Now, I'm talking to a man who ate blue cheese or out of a woman's ass on stage once. Um,
Once.
can yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, jeez. Don't
Made a
insult
habit
me.
of
Oh, yeah.
made a habit of it.
Almost
Uh,
probably 1,000 times.
Now us spend a little second on that. So,
Hmm.
first of all, I don't know if anybody's heard the story, but like, how did it happen? Somebody challenged you, and that's when it started. What started with the eating the fucking cream
Blue
cheese out of
cheese.
the
Okay, well,
blue
this
cheese
is
out
what
of a girl's ass?
happened. Me and Florentine were working for Mark Thompson out in South Carolina back in the day, in Greenville and at a Holiday Inn. And there was a girl, there was this black girl, looked like Whitney Houston, very pretty, hanging out with us after the show. And she said she needed money for something. So we came up with this idea that we would gather up some money, but I would eat blue cheese out of her ass at the bar. And they have it in packages out there. I don't know if they still do. It's in like mustard packages, like when you go to a game or something like that. And it was like that. So Jim's like opening one after another, one after another, and we came up with like $38 for it. And then we did it, and then it got out, and it was on the radio like the next day and that shit. And I go on stage and I get a standing ovation with people with the bottles of blue cheese. I guess they went to the supermarket to get it. It was like weird. And then once I got on Howard, and Howard heard about that, and I had to do it it was basically every if I didn't wasn't gonna do it, I'd get booed at the end. So it was like fucking. I guess we got to do it. So
Yeah. So, I mean, what is the selection choice? I mean, you're looking for a woman who's not scratching her ass. I mean, you're looking for just looks. What do you? I mean, how do you
yeah, I'm not
choose?
looking for nothing. I'm saying we say we need a woman to come up. Bob's gonna eat blue cheese out of your ass on stage, and then and they would just come up, and whatever came up came up, and then thank God, how women are. It was mostly hot ones.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like, it was there always like a willing participant, like who wants, guys throwing fucking knives. Who wants to come up here? Like, oh, fuck that,
Oh no, you always
but,
had that. One time, I had a mother and daughter, and a husband was in the room. I think that was in Houston or San Antonio. I was going to retire it after that. I didn't think I can go any better. But I mean, look, I've eaten Savannah Sampson's ass on stage at Caroline's, and they were like, "Great job! You don't get away with that. You don't get away." That's the power of Howard Stern back then.
yeah.
They would let us do anything, and it was okay. Comedy is not like that. You know what I mean? They don't let you do shit like that in rooms. They don't let you fucking stay in your office and fucking, since you couldn't go to the bathroom because if somebody was up, it would cause a little, the crowd would be a
Mhm.
little fucking crazy. We'd piss in their garbage can. You know what I mean? Would you get away with shit like there was nothing? You're smoking right in their fucking face. They
Yeah.
wouldn't say anything because it was all about the plugs on the show. It was such a powerful show. And like somebody was talking about, I go, "Is that guy still at Caroline?" Somebody was telling me the other night. I go, "Tell him I said hello." He was always very nice. He was one thing. It's like he was. He gets it. He gets it. As long as it's funny and whatever, entertaining, it's good.
There you go. Well, clean, dirty. Do you have? Can you do clean? Could you do 30 minutes clean, Bob?
Yeah, I can do pretty clean. But I was just telling my wife yesterday that I go, I think some people that come to see me don't actually, because I'm not as dirty as I was once,
Hmm.
and I don't think they're getting what I said. I'm going to step it up again because I get away with it. Somehow I get away with it. I'm very charming up there for some reason. I
Yeah.
smile, I'm having a good time and I get away with it, like because they see that I'm just having a good time. I'm not fucking. I'm not angry about anything. I'm just whatever. It's just funny, and if it's funny, it doesn't matter whether you're clean or you're dirty. I think clubs should kind of let people know that are coming in what kind of show we have tonight. This is more of a PG show.
Right.
This is R rated. This is adult. Adult is just a normal show.
Right. Could be anything. A lot of clubs are doing that. They're putting ratings on the show, so at least people will know. Because nothing worse than somebody showing up and like, I wasn't expecting this. I'm like, well, did you at least do a little research before you came to the fucking show?
Yeah, we
Um,
went to it. We were in Baltimore one time, doing the Killers of Comedy, right? And we see like this black family dressed up, like like six of them, nice very nice women dressed up, and then they thought it was the Kings of Comedy. Remember they had that, and it was
yeah,
the funniest thing. And they're like, yeah, no, it's cool, but back in we thought it was, but that's what it is. It's like when you see a sign that says "Comedy Tonight." What does "Comedy Tonight" mean? What does that mean? It's like saying live band. What is live band? What is it? Metallica or Frank Sinatra? You have to
yeah,
let people know what they're coming to see. Otherwise, you're taking chances, and you don't build an audience like that. You can build many audiences. The key
yeah,
to owning a club is to have something going every night.
yeah. Definitely. You got to do that. You can't be open 2 nights a week.
Yeah, you have
That's
to
not
be
going to
have
work.
money coming in. You have to have, even if you're
Yeah,
doing lunch in the fucking afternoon. You have to be open. You have to do fucking have an amateur night, karaoke night, fucking whatever, every night, everything.
yeah.
You have to have those doors open. That's what business is.
I agree 100%. Getting into some topics. Student loan forgiveness. How'd you feel about that? You hear about that? Biden saying he's going to let people free up $10,000 of their for student loan.
Well, being
Uh,
someone that dropped out of high school, I'm not too fucking happy about it. I mean, I didn't have a chance to rack up that fucking dough, But there should be, uh, uh, you know, it should be other stuff too that that they forget. Like if you help people out even on their houses for 3 months, it changes a lot of people's lives. If you say you don't have to pay for 3 months and we'll go from there. We're just gonna try to get you restarted again. But
yeah, a little breather.
you have to set up schools differently now if you want it. You can't do the, you know what I mean? Because what you're doing is there were so many people. If you had money, you were able to go to school. What about the poor kids? They didn't get to go to these schools because of that, and they didn't have that opportunity. So things got to change to be able to make it more easier for everyone to go to whatever college. If you're just going to give back the money, then basically anybody can get in.
Well, I think college degrees have almost become less valuable. I mean, because again, it's one of these situations. We get all these seamen and no fucking workers. You got no people manning the boats, and that's the thing. People need to become fucking plumbers. They need to become painters, carpenters, welders, farmers. I mean, fucking, we need a lot more of that. Not everybody can walk on the moon, and everybody. I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna get a degree on how to write a newspaper. Like, people.
Yeah.
That's the thing. People have no idea what the fuck they're doing, and they did it because they thought that was the motion. But I just think it's very like somebody. Listen, during the financial crisis, there was loan modifications. The banks actually, part of that.
Hmm.
People say, "What the fucking banks?" Well, the banks got money because they actually took a $300,000 mortgage and modified it down to 200.
Hmm.
Right? They just eliminated that much, and then who ate that? So this shit can happen sometimes, but
Yeah, but they
but
didn't
we all know
drop.
that.
Okay, say if you went to school to be a mechanic or a carpenter or something like that, you took training. Those people don't get a refund, right, or anything.
No, no. I mean, unless they took some sort of loan to go to carpentry school or a trade school, stuff like
But
that.
I don't
So,
even think that they would do that for them. I don't even know if that's on the table for them. I
well, I
think
mean,
it's
there's a
like,
lot of those trade schools are, they're get a $5,000 loan, and back in the day they used to have those weird, those profit, like the medical training schools. They used to have
mhm.
paramedic training schools, and how do go to a go to an 18-month little college to learn how to be to be a fucking office manager in a
Yeah, I
doctor's
can be a
office.
fucking bartender in 6 months. I'll be
Yeah,
fucking,
you remember the
throw drinks
bartending
all around.
schools?
Yeah, you always
That's
seen them late at
yeah.
night when you were home drunk. They came on the commercials.
What happened to they used to have the Fort Lauderdale Bar and Bartending Institute. And I used to think that
Hmm.
was so funny. And I had friends that fucking signed up. I'm like, you're gonna pay $2,000-$3,000 to go fucking learn how to make drinks? Just get a fucking drink book, stupid. You know what I mean? It's like, what are they gonna teach you at bartending school? Like, oh, this is how you look at people from across the bar.
Yeah, and this
You
will
know?
help because we're in touch with a lot of bars and restaurants, so we can probably get you a job. They'll tell you anything. Anybody will tell you anything to get you to sign up.
Yeah, that's true, 100%. Um, Question for you, Bob. Another one. What is worse, sea levels rising or space junk falling from the sky?
Well, I think you can always back up from the ocean, but fucking shit flying out of, I don't want to be sitting on the porch, getting a new fucking deck and all that shit, and something hits me in the fucking head. I mean, that's no way to fucking go. Like a bag of shit from an airline fucking flies out, whatever. It's like, you don't want to go that way. It's a horrible way
No,
to go.
it would
You
be.
gotta, it's always what's up. You're always looking to see what's up around you. When you're in a big city, you're looking up. Everybody's looking up. You don't, I'm not always at the water going, hey, it's coming in a little more. It doesn't rush that fast, It's like put more sand there or something. I don't fucking know, but I don't want a piece of a fucking spaceship hitting me.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You never know, right? Can you imagine? You
Yeah.
eat right, you don't drink, you don't do drugs for years, and you're sitting there out and getting the sun and looking good with your fucking abs all fucking cut up, and all of a sudden a piece of a Chinese satellite falls right on your nuts,
Yeah, we should not
and
fuck with
ruins your.
them up there. There's something up there, and we shouldn't fuck with it. Leave it there.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you have the answer. Hey, buddy, everybody, it's time for the news is a joke. This is where we bring up stories from here and around the world and make fun of them. Our first story: British firefighters rescue a man with his hand stuck in a sofa. I
Stuck
can't
in
get
it.
my fucking hand out. I was reaching for some change, and I fucking can't get my
Exactly. How
fucking
much
hand.
fucking money was in that fucking couch that he fucking doesn't get out?
This is funny because I actually did that. On the couch, where the remote fell into the chair, and it's on these,
Hmm.
the reclining, so the recliner. So when you're reaching down there, you're like, oh, there it is, and then all of a sudden you got this like this bar, like a like metal bar,
Hmm.
and you get your hand in there, and I'm like, these big old paws. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know, I don't think I'm going to try to stick my fucking hand down there. But you know, I mean, I mean, eh, yeah. How much money did the guy have? You
You
know what I
look at
mean? Like,
there's so much garbage under there. There's sand. It's like, how did they get sand in the house? I haven't been to the beach. There's like everything in there. You find a key, a fucking vape pen. You're like, what the fuck?
Poe said the firefighters were able to help the man extract his hand. Then obviously he turned around and got shoved up his own ass. He was not seriously injured, but sustained slight reddening of his hand. It's really not isn't just fires. I'm pleased that the firefighters are there to help somebody to get their head out of their ass if they need to.
No,
Um,
they do. They do a good fucking job. You know what I mean? I imagine going to people's houses and fucking. You got to run in. There's a fire in there, and you're like, "Fuck, I got to go in there." That's my job is to go into
Yeah.
fire. Fire is like the worst way to go. You don't want to be a.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, you got to get away from fire. These fuckers run into it. That's fucking brave shit. I would be the worst fireman in the world. I'd be hanging out, with the sprinkler on outside, with all the hoses. I wouldn't go near the fucking building.
Bob would be a fireman showing up, sliding in on a slip and slide.
Yeah, I'm like,
Fucking
woo! I'm not going in there.
jumping,
It's fucking hot in there.
jumping,
Yeah.
jumping through the fucking sprinklers. You're right. Listen, the firefighters, they just had a story from last week. A guy got evicted from his house. Right. I don't know if you saw the story. True story. The guy got evicted from his house, went back, lit the building on fire, the apartment complex where he lived.
Mm.
And then when people were running out to escape the fire, he started shooting them. He killed like 3 people.
Well,
And then the
that's a
cops caught him.
scumbag.
And
That's a
yeah, I
fucking.
mean,
You start a fire to chase people out. That's like me burning ants in South Carolina when I lived. Those fucking fire ants. I was pouring gasoline in there. That doesn't work. And I fucking got big flame. It looks like Iraq with the oil fields during the war in my whole backyard. It didn't fucking work at all. I remember. And it's like they're like, what the fuck? You come out and I'm there with a fucking. Just banging them with a baseball bat as they're coming up because it doesn't stop them. It's like, but to have people come out of a fire, you're like, oh my God, I got out of a fire. I'm so,
thank God.
You're like, what the
What
fuck?
Yeah, you get shot by a fucking shotgun, and then a piece of a Chinese satellite hits you in the back of the head too.
It's
What a
not
fucking
fun.
day!
It
What a
is
world
not
we
good.
live in. I mean,
It is.
I was
People
thinking. I
are
read that story,
evil.
dude. I read that story. I'm like, couldn't you just find another apartment? You fucking asshole. People are
Well,
so like spiteful, vindictive, and it's just
Well,
horrible.
that's what it is. You can't fire anybody. You fire somebody, they'll come back and do that. So it's
Yeah,
it's really bad. It's like you got to keep people on in case these people get fucking pissed off. It's never anybody's fault. It's not their fault. It's never their fault. Sometimes you got to look in the mirror and go, maybe I am bad at this fucking job. Maybe yeah, I'm not good at this. I can
yeah,
say I was never good at marriage. Yeah, I've been married 4 fucking times. It's not that I'm a romantic. I'm just not good at it. I think I might have figured it out now.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you guys had a little time apart, and then I saw you guys back together. I'm like, hey, good for Bob.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. It's like you gotta still know how to fuck it up at the beginning, and like at the beginning, it's supposed to be good. It was horrible at the beginning, and now it's great, and that's
Yeah,
fucking crazy, and that's the best feeling in the world. That knowing that you could have let the best thing in your life slip away, both of us, and we didn't.
yeah.
We fought for it.
Well, you know
Where
what
that's
happened?
fucking
Because
crazy.
when that can only happen is when you own up. Like you said, people don't admit when they fuck up. They can't own up. People today can't admit they were wrong. People
Yeah, I
today are
was
so
like,
busy.
I was like that was my dick in her mouth. What? How did that get there? I don't know how to. No, see, never. See, I haven't even cheated on her, and that's like good for me because it's hard to turn down pussy. You know what I mean? Like free drinks and pussy, two things you really can't turn down. You know what I mean? Or free concert tickets. You don't go, nah, I can't take that. Somebody goes, they want to suck your dick. Well, yeah, that's fucking pretty good. How do you really turn that
Yeah,
down?
yeah, I agree. It's very hard to do that. And you're right. And but those things change eventually. Sometimes that happens. You're right, but it's hard. It's like you know, cocaine. I had cocaine offered a couple times to me in the last 6 months. Had to turn it down. Had to turn it down. Don't need to be
Well,
depressed
see,
for
and that's
fucking a week
another
or two.
hard thing. That's another hard thing to do because you know how fun it was, and like sometimes you're tired, and it's like, hey, maybe I'll do one or whatever. But like, it's
Yeah,
really, I'm more of the weed guy now. I'll have a drink. I'm having a beer now. I can be able to do that. It's like
yeah,
I'm in control of this shit. You're not gonna be in control of me.
yeah.
Like I seen somebody had a T-shirt. It's only an addiction if you suck somebody's dick for it. You're only addicted to something.
Yeah.
And that's
Otherwise,
kind of
it's a
true.
hobby.
But
Yeah. But
otherwise you're just having fun. But if you suck a dick to get it, and that goes for the ladies too. You're
mhm.
addicted to this. You got a little bit of a problem.
Yeah. Well, Uh, speaking of problems. Hong Kong is trialing ground level signal lights so pedestrians can see them while they're browsing on their smartphones. I mean,
What?
This is when you're adapting to stupid, you know.
No, yeah,
So they
you
basically,
can't. These are the people that got to die. These people got to die.
yeah,
You got to get hit by shit. You got to realize that you have to pay attention. You know what I mean? I pay attention when I'm walking. I pay attention mostly when I'm driving. You know, I really do. I mean, you have to.
mostly.
Sometimes you look at it, you're like, oh my god, how long was I fucking trying to get that song on for? I feel like 30 seconds. I wasn't even looking at the road, and you say that to yourself, and you're like, man, it did seem like a long time. It's too long. You got to be
Mhm.
careful.
Yeah. You ever been driving down a highway and you miss the exit because you're just daydreaming? You're not even paying attention. I
Dude,
mean,
I
come
do
on.
that. I did that. I did that recently. It's like, what the fuck? It's like I was, and the thing's telling me make a right, make a right. Thank God, because when we used to have a piece of paper we'd print out with the directions, or write it down, and you're like looking at it, the direct make a
Yeah.
right on Gerard Street, and then a left on this street, and I'm like, what? And it was
Yeah.
crazy back then. Now it's so fucking easy.
Yeah.
I remember I was going to the surgeon doctor, and she had an office near me on a certain day, so she had it down here too. So I go there, and then I'm leaving, and now my phone's not hooking up. I'm 5 minutes from my fucking house. I got home 35 minutes later because my it didn't put up I couldn't get the GPS on. I had no idea why. I don't pay attention because it tells you where to go. It's not like
Yeah.
when you used to drive. You knew every corner. You knew
Yeah.
what was there, and you
Yeah.
knew you don't know anything anymore. It made people stupider, and
Yeah.
I don't like that, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, you got to be careful about being overly reliant on technology, right? Like I've
Hmm.
done that. Like my wife is different. My wife will now that we live here in Greenville, she doesn't even use it. The navigation, she knows everywhere. And these roads are crazy here.
Yeah.
Me. Listen, I need Uber. I need a navigation to get the morning mail. I don't- you know it's it, I need that. And how many times you're using it and you're looking at it and you can't figure out, is the turn coming up? Did I miss the turn? Like some of
Yeah.
these places, I'm like, and you get off on the wrong fucking thing. Next thing you know, it's like, oh, you got to drive 5 more miles before you can make a U-turn. Son
Yeah,
of a
it looks
bitch.
like it's straight, but it's telling me I should take a right. What should I do? And that's when you panic and you just stop the car right at the exit, and then you back up, and then you realize that you went too far because it's redirecting you. So you back up, and you look like a fucking idiot. And
Yeah,
believe me, I've done all this shit, and it's fucking. It's like either it's a right or it's straight. Let me fucking know. Totally.
yeah. Well, these guys in Japan are pretty stupid. There's basically red light and green light. So when you're looking down, if you look down at your screen, you can keep walking. If there's red, you may want to look up before a fucking truck hits you
You
or
look
one
no
of
matter
those.
what, because I'm not getting hit by, like, in New York City, those fucking people on the bikes. They don't give a fuck. You can get hit by anything. You got to watch somebody doesn't just punch you in the fucking face for no reason. I'm gonna
Right?
be on my phone. I'm gonna be on my phone just fucking with my head down in New York City. No, I don't think I'm gonna be doing that much anymore. I'm fucking
Yeah,
prepared.
that's a great point, by the way. I guess they're not having as much of the violence in Japan, but yeah, I mean, who the hell? You can't walk the streets anywhere in any major city in this country now without being
No.
like being a survivalist and a self-preservationist. You got to fucking you got to scope people out, man. You got to look. I
Oh
do that
yeah.
when I'm on a crowded area. There's this guy carrying something that looks like he's holding something. This person looks a little. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna kick him? Or am I gonna strangle him?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Our next story, hundreds bear it all or just a little during a Philly naked bike ride. You're not too far from Philly.
No, but I guess I'm far enough, thank God. Holy shit, I had no idea. I mean, how can you be naked in the street? How can that be legal? You can't, and you can't, and and if you're naked, they usually arrest you. Now they're having a parade for it.
Yeah, well, a young boy around 6 or 7 years old covered his eyes while hundreds of bicyclists, who obviously didn't look like they've been bicycling a lot lately, um,
Mm.
drove by and almost got their fat caught in the chain.
Yeah,
I don't
I
want to
mean,
see
I
this
would have covered
anymore, they
my
said,
eyes too, because when I was 6, I didn't even know I had a dick. I didn't. It was barely a dick when it was a dick. It was a dick. That was
because
all I
it
had
did.
then. So, like, if I seen people with a real dick, I'd be like, this is fucking embarrassing to me. I don't even have one of them yet.
Yeah, right. I mean, well, you're on a bike seat too. I mean, how can you bike naked? I mean, that seat. I mean, you're gonna have to buy a new seat.
I can barely
I'd
fuck
imagine.
naked. I'm gonna be fucking worried about driving a fucking bike with my balls. I'm getting so old to be fucking caught in the fucking chain. I'll be trying to get them out. You know what I mean? It'll be like fucking bubble gum all over it. It'll be the most horrible thing ever. No, turn it back that way, Doug. Turn it back. No,
Ah,
go the other way. It's coming looser. Imagine that you're stuck with your balls fucking in the chain and fucking you got your friend trying to get he's tugging on it, trying to pull it up.
yeah. Start spitting on it to lubricate it. All right, dude, this is going too far, man.
I
You
know.
always, I just want to spit on your balls.
I can't believe you came, dude.
Well, that's what loosened it up. Thank God. The Philly Naked Bike Ride is a Bear As You Dare event, meaning that the participants can completely nude, or they can just wear g-strings or thongs or whatever they like. So
Yeah.
maybe next year. Maybe next year we'll get out there and do it.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd like to
you know what I mean?
interview them.
This is an interesting story. Artificial intelligence uncovers thousands of hidden pools in France. No, no, no. It's not a pool. It's a puddle. It's just a puddle.
They discovered that people are so fucking drunk there. I guess they don't even realize they have a pool in their yard. I know I don't have one in my pool yet. I don't have a pool in my
Not
yard
yet.
yet, but it's coming.
Well,
It's
they did.
coming.
They would say these people are pretty. What they did was they hid it. Like they put like they do. They put like a fucking camouflage thing or trees or whatever the fuck they do because they
Hmm.
don't want the tax people seeing it. Because if you have a pool, your tax assessment goes up on your property. So
Yeah.
people were purposely hiding their pool to not have to pay the taxes. Um, Seems like a Google software helped the fucking French. We want to find out who has the pools. Who has a pool? It's not fair.
It's
You have to
amazing
pay
the
for the
shit
pool.
you have to go through to get a fucking poll. The shit that you have to go through, especially in my town, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's like I'm opening up like a lab to start COVID again. It's a fucking poll. Just don't fucking
yeah,
bother me. I'm trying to make the neighborhood better.
yeah. Well, did you pick what's is it a square pool, rectangle, kidney shape? What kind of pool you putting in?
It's like a longer square. You know what I mean?
That's usually called a rectangle.
Okay,
Um,
whatever. I don't have to get into that shit. That's what it took us 2 weeks to get through. He goes, "Do you want it square?" I go, "No, I wanted a longer square." And he was like, "I don't know what the fuck that is." I don't know what
now,
you're talking
how
about.
deep is it? How deep is the pool going to be?
6 feet, I said. That's all we have to go. Because he goes, "We may hit water underneath." I said, "Well, then fucking stop when you hit the water. Like,
Yeah,
they can pump out the water." But I said 6 feet because you want 8 feet. I go, "I don't need fucking 8 feet."
no,
6 feet is fine.
yeah. That was the pool in Florida. It started from like 3.5, whatever, 4
Yeah,
feet to 6 feet.
yeah. I got him
You
for
need
extra cement.
the only time I was where was I? I was in Washington State doing a show in Richland, and they had a pool at the hotel. It was nice, but the pool was like 10 feet deep. It was
Mm.
amazing when you go down. You never when you don't go underwater that you haven't been that far underwater in a while. Your ears and it's and the comic I was working like why the fuck is a pool that deep? I'm like it probably had a diving board, but they don't have
Yeah,
diving boards. Remember they used to have diving boards at the pools at the hotels. Remember
yeah.
some hotels had fucking diving boards.
That never works
That just
out
goes,
well.
dude. That just goes to prove how fucking ignorant some people are. The reason there are no
Hmm.
more diving boards at a lot of places, and especially pools, is because people kept getting fucked up on the
Hmm.
diving board. So
Yeah, you don't want to
listen,
be
I don't get on.
crippled. Like that's the worst thing because you can't get a chair in a fucking pool. It looks ridiculous. Fucking chair comes in, put it in there. Oh, this is great. I love my pool.
Yeah,
I can't even
yeah,
fucking
you
move my
fucking
fucking hand.
he drop you in there from the side,
Yeah.
the fucking crane. Uh, yeah, we were thinking about getting a pool here, but it's just too much work. We're going to get a fire pit instead in South
Those are
Carolina. We're going to get
good.
a fire pit. A fire pit. There, you sit around there and get people over and
Yeah.
a nice, especially when it's cold. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
getting one. I'm going to make one myself. I watch the shows, so I'm just going to put the brick here, the brick there. I know, and then I'm going to put another section to hang out. Like that with a fire
yeah,
pit. I got a fire pit up on the one of the fake ones up on the deck. So, but I want a real one. I want to fucking I want to fucking
yeah, like a
take
nice
all the
big one.
wood.
You sit around. Yeah, those
Yeah,
are awesome, dude.
throw a car tire in. Fucking have all the neighbors pissed at you. I don't fucking because it's like there's not we're gonna run out of woods here because they cut it down a lot. But there's still some trees I'm going to cut down, and yeah, I'll have enough for 2 years of burning before I have to
Couple
put
some
in
supply.
tire.
That's what they're doing in Germany because there's so little gas. Like, can you imagine what's going on in Ukraine war and everything?
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
people in
yeah. You
Europe.
can ask the Jews why there's so little gas there. Those fucking pricks. Jesus Christ. Of course, they should have a gas shortage.
Why did they have it 80 years ago? Or the fuck it was?
I know.
But there's people there. There's like a neighborhood in Germany that where the mayor said we're going to go, and they went and started cutting down trees and turning it into like bark or like sawdust shit so that they can run keep their stoves. So Germany was so smart back in the day with Trump. They're like,
Mhm.
oh, he told them Russia's you're fucking you're too reliant on Russian energy, and they laughed at him
Yeah.
when he addressed the United Nations. They laughed at him, and now they're looking at him. They're heating their houses with firewood like it's the fucking like this like the 1800s. Again.
I mean,
So
it's not a bad thing to do if you can get a few fireplaces. You get 2 fireplaces in your house, one downstairs, one upstairs. It works. It's cool. I was thinking I can't get a real fireplace in my house. 'Cause I'm not going through the fucking roof and that shit. But I'm thinking about getting one. One of them fake ones. It'll still be fucking gas, but it's pretty
yeah.
cool. It works.
Yeah, we got a gas one. We got a gas one with the synthetic log that's in there and stuff. You just flip a
Mm-hmm.
switch and then wait another 30 seconds, flip the other one. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the same. You don't hear the crackling and
Yeah.
fucking,
And the Christmas
listen,
tree
you're right.
doesn't catch fire by accident.
Yeah. It's fucking varmints and like, fucking little bears come flying in, crawling into the fucking chimney. Oh, I got this gas. Our second to last story, a 6-year-old regularly given Smirnoff Ices says it helps him sleep. Ohio sheriff says, you got to look at this story. There's a woman this guy who's dating this chick. He works a lot, and she was watching the kid. But 6-year-old walking around with a Smirnoff Ice. And the mother was the lady who was the care provider, I guess. He must have grabbed it. He must have, I didn't know he grabbed it, and then he grabbed it. And meanwhile, the kid's got his own fucking refrigerator next to his crib. Parents today are not parents. They're not parents. Like you're saying, they're scared to do anything or discipline their kids. These parents, they want their kids to like them. They don't want them to respect them. They just want them to fucking like them.
Yeah,
And
you
that's
have
why
to
you get all
fear
these
them.
crazy fucking kids.
Yeah, if you fear your parents, you're gonna end up being a good kid. You at least have to have fear. You don't have to be beaten up or whipped or whatever. But if you fear your parents, you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, I mean, my dad never hit me, but I always feared getting the shit beat out of me by him,
Mhm.
and that's all it
Yeah.
took. I had 3 older brothers who got their shit beat out of them a couple times, but they
I'm on the
fucking
phone. I'm working. You're smoking. Yeah, I'm doing the show. I'm smoking. Yeah, your mom's not here no more. The fuck? Shut up. Fuck. I'm just gonna smoke in here. Calm the fuck down. God.
Where are you smoking? And where you at? Upstairs,
I've been
downstairs?
smoking outside. Her mom's been here for a month, so I was like polite about it. But like this, when I do the show, I like to have a cigarette. Oh God!
Can you open a window?
Oh, you see? Look, she's back.
Oh,
Welcome back, honey.
yeah.
Okay. You know
That's
where there's no
love.
smoke?
Look at that.
Not outside this room. Not outside this room. There's no smoke.
Only animals smoke.
Oh yeah.
in the house.
You used to.
Not,
Yeah, there you go.
Animal
That
smoke.
shut that up. There you go. She
I
stopped
just-
smoking. Now she's a fucking expert on non-smoking. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. She stopped smoking. Now she's fucking.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's disgusting. Shut the fuck up. It's unbelievable.
That's funny. That's like when people quit doing drugs. They go drug free, and they try to tell you to find God and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God's
you
fucking
do
smoking
you.
a cigarette, drinking.
Yeah, you do you, and I'll do me, buddy. So
Exactly.
yeah, parents today are crazy, dude. I mean, this kid, the police went back and they found another one in this kid's hand. Yeah, let's just say, yeah. I mean, fucking kid drinking alcohol, no big deal, no big deal. Our last
It's not
story.
driving.
Yeah.
Be lucky. Be happy about this shit.
Well, how many times you see kids that are like 10, 12 years old steal somebody's car, take a car, and they fucking crash it?
Yeah.
Again, fucking kids. Great story here. Man chopped off his own penis while dreaming about slaughtering a goat.
Ooh, that sucks when the story goes bad for you. Holy fucking shit. And imagine that, and you fucking wake up and go, oh shit, wasn't it a dream? And the fucking dog's running under the bed with your fucking dick.
A man in Ghana reportedly chopped off his own penis on August 12th while he was asleep. The man, 42-year-old Kofi Atta, which in English means, ow, that hurt, said he'd been dreaming about slaughtering a goat when he woke to a sharp pains on his scrotum. And when he looked down, he realized that through some of the sleepwalking, he'd picked up a knife and chopped off his own dick.
That's why I don't sleepwalk, because I would dread doing that. You know what I mean? But thank God I don't have really big knives, so it would take a while. I'd probably wake up when I was sawing halfway through my cock.
Yeah, I woke up one time and I was batting my dick with a fucking plastic spoon. I was dreaming I was Ringo Starr. I mean, come on. According to Sleepwalking Organization, up to 4% of adults are thought to experience sleepwalking, and episodes can last anywhere from a few seconds to a half an hour. My older brother used to sleepwalk. I remember one time he came, he was walking, got up out of the bed. He walked into the closet. I guess he thought he was in the bathroom and started pissing in the closet.
That happens. That happens to people. It never happened to me, but thank God, It's like I never pissed somewhere in my house when I was in the bathroom.
The bathroom.
Bathroom.
My bathroom. Fucking great. Well, that's all we have for the news is a joke, everybody. That's our end of our segment. And we'll close the show talking to Bob and seeing what's coming up. What's Bob doing? What's exciting Bob today? What's, you and I haven't talked in a while. So what the fuck is new? I mean,
Well, we have, me and Kevin Brennan are opening up a comedy room in October. We have to get you down. It's going to be a Saturday for now. And that's in Vineland. You go to kevinbrennan.com for all our dates. Me and Kevin. And then Levyland is doing good on YouTube. It's free. Then the Miserable Men Show is on Patreon. You have to pay for that. And then Comics on Cannabis is free on YouTube, and some other stuff you can listen on. So it's pretty good. We're having some fun, and we're enjoying life.
There you go. Well, you said you're smoking a little bit of weed now. Burning flower? You vaping? What are you doing? You taking edibles?
I do everything, edibles, whatever's around. Today was a little bit of the vape pen, but I took edibles yesterday. I felt great. It's just great for pain. It helps me.
Yeah. I had bought some. When I was in Portland. I got a bunch of them, so I'm gonna. I just haven't taken them. I don't know why. It's like a habit. You want to smoke.
Yeah, but it's great. It really makes you feel better, and you can come up with good ideas. Well, they seem like good ideas at the time, like the new bits. But yeah, most of the time the bits are really good. I do my best when I'm definitely. I can't go on stage like that, but if I'm writing, it's fucking gold.
Yeah. I'm working on writing now, so that's the one thing. When you're not busy, just if you got some weekends off, fucking hit the bricks and fucking start writing some shit. I got an opportunity to potentially get on Dry Bar, so I got to write 30 minutes of fucking Mormon clean. So I'm gonna be working on that and that kind of shit. But dude, hey man, we got to get you. We're gonna start doing shows at the Greenville Comedy Zone every once in a while. So I'd love to get you down here. And
definitely.
Fuck it, and you come stay with us. It's been a while since you stayed with the Almeidas.
And
I'll make sure I have to get some coffee.
Oh yeah, we have to have coffee.
Fucking Bob Levy. Bob Levy will drink, let's see, 4 to 5 pots of coffee a day. Forget about cups. Bob Levy will drink fucking pots of coffee.
I like coffee in the day. And when I wake up, that's what I do for a while. And then I just grabbed a beer. I was like, fuck it, let's enjoy myself.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, I want to thank my good friend Bob Levy for joining us today. And
fun time, brother.
Catch him anytime you're out. We gotta get on the stage together again soon. Always check out the Reverend Bob Levy. And that's all the end of another show here on the Wake Up Late with Dougie show. Again, I want to thank Bob Levy for joining us today, and for all of you folks for listening and sharing the show on our fan page on Facebook. Also, we'd love you to be subscribing to our YouTube channel at the Wake Up Late with Dougie show. We had some actually growth in that. We actually got some more subscribers, but hey, that's what it's all about. We need more subscribers on YouTube so we can get our own personalized URL. You know, instead of like somebody says, where's your YouTube channel? It's like http:/x score r5760 -- semicolon, my thumb in my colon. Any rate, so we appreciate that. Follow us on Twitter at Wake Up Dougie, and our fan Instagram at Wake Up Late with Dougie show. Aside from that, God bless everybody. I think I may be around next week. No, I'm not going to be around next week. I'm going to be at the North Carolina Comedy Festival doing shows at the Next Door and the Idiot Box in Greensboro, North Carolina next week on fucking Wednesday and Thursday, I believe it is, or Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday and Wednesday. Just go to DougieAlmeida.com for more dates. God bless all of you. Stay well. Be careful. Don't look down. Look up. Make sure nobody sucker punches you and makes you next week's headline. Take care.